Welcome to 6 Steps to Your Irresistible Brand. My name is Fabiola Giordani, and I will be your creative business and branding strategist for the next 3 training videos. I want to say that I am super excited that you're here, going on this journey with me, learning how you can build your rockstar brand. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is me, Fabiola Giordani. I am the Olivia Pope to your branding needs. Now, I am a tutu-wearing, pumpkin spice chai latte loving branding coach and professional photographer. And I have to be honest with you, I had this entire presentation ready to go for you in a face-to-face recorded format. And apparently I am not the Kerry Washington that I thought I was. So in order to focus on giving you high content value, I wanted to just go ahead and focus on what's most important in this training, which is the training piece. I decided to create this presentation for you instead. So a little bit more about me. I started out my journey as a life coach, and the reason why I started a life coaching business was because I made so many magnificent changes in my life, and I wanted every woman to feel just as excited, just as happy as I was. So I set out on a journey to help women make changes in their lives. So I decided to pack my digital bags and go off to life coaching school, and I loved it. It was an amazing experience. One of the things they don't teach you in most life coaching schools is how to actually market and brand yourself. So that was the struggle for me, but I want to share with you just a few things that happened along this journey. So once I finished my certification, I was excited. I started getting clients, but I had a crappy website and I had a crappy representation of, who I really was. The only thing I have to say that I had going for myself was my story. So within this training, we will talk about why it's important to have different stories that represents your brand and your business to help create those raving fans, to help attract those clients that you desire. So for me, for a girl who didn't know much of anything in terms of marketing and branding, I was able to manifest and attract clients from all across the world. I had clients nationally here in the States, and I had clients from London, West Africa, and even Russia. So that was an amazing experience, getting to help those women, create the lives that they desire. But the even cooler experience for me was that I did it without any marketing or any branding knowledge. I have to tell you, man, if you've seen my previous website, my first ever business website, you would be shocked. You'd be, oh my goodness, what the heck is this? Yes, it was that bad. So what I want to focus on here, so during my time as a life coach, the only thing I had going for me, the only thing that drew those customers to me was that I was 100% me, and that I shared my story with them. And my story resonated with them, whether I shared it through my Facebook page or on my website or through my blog posts. They found me most of the time, and I'm grateful for that. It was an awesome experience. So let's get started. The goal here for the next for this training video is focus on 2 areas. So the first one is to focus on how you can be uniquely you and to be business trendy. And of course, focusing on crafting a kick-ass story. So you want to be uniquely you because you want to attract customers that want to fall in love with you and your brand. So think about some of the ways, what are 3 things that would best describe you and your business? So 3 words I would say that would best describe you and your business. So focus on that before you start diving deep into other areas of putting this brand story together. Now I really wanted to focus on being business trendy. Now what the heck is business trendy, you probably are asking. Well, trends and being trendy keeps you relevant. It keeps you memorable. It keeps your business fun and exciting, and keeps people, buzzing more about you and what you do. So you can use trends to positively impact your brand and your brand story. You definitely want to stay away from things that are not in line with what you want to do, especially not in line with your brand voice and your brand identity. So how are some of where can you start spotting those trends that can help you infuse those ideas and those inspirational ideas into your brand? You can start with a calendar. You can choose all of the holidays that are on the calendar, highlight all the upcoming special events. You can spot trends that way. You can spot trends via seasons. Like my favorite season is the fall season. Um, I love it for two reasons. My kid goes back to school and I get to go boot shopping. So, other areas that you can spot trends are like celebrity inspiration or the local news or, fashion. Um, for me, I love celebrity inspiration because I used to write a blog about my health and fitness journey, and every Wednesday I would post a celebrity fitness inspiration blog post, and that would be the day that my clicks would go through the roof, and I had the most visits on Wednesdays because everybody wanted to learn more about what the celebrities are doing to stay fit and to stay healthy, from my perspective. So that was pretty cool. I love doing that because, it was trendy, but it was also something that was in line with what I was doing and was in line with my voice. So, other places you can spot trends that can help you would be Twitter, Facebook, the media, again, the fashion blogs, or fashion in general. Why would you want to use trends in your business? Again, it helps you stay relevant. It still helps you stay fascinating and compelling. And it also helps you be in the know. Keep in mind that our customers' desires, their dreams, they're always evolving. They're always changing. No one's staying the same. And if you want to be in a business where you stay the same and you never change, then you will end up just like Blockbuster, because they did not follow the trend and recognize that no one wants to walk into a video store and pay $4 for a rental when they can go to Redbox and get it for $1. Get out of here. So even though it didn't sound like a savvy business idea to them at the time, now if you look at it, they're no longer here. And that's the reason why, because they didn't want to follow the trend. Now you might think, well, not all trends are good trends, and that is very true. So that's why you must take the time to, figure out which ones are in line with your brand and are in line with your voice. So how can you use those trends in your business? You can use them, in your blog posts. You can write about certain compelling topics that people or your audience wants to hear about. You can use them in your guest posts. You can use them in your videos and in your marketing. You can also use those trends in the way, you write your copy. For example, on my website, I focus on helping people find their voice and build their irresistible brand so that they won't have to struggle to keep getting clients. That, when people visit their website, they're most likely to opt in into their boxes or purchase from them. Granted, people may not buy from you on the first look, but we want to captivate that audience. So on one of my work with me pages, it says that, would you like to have an irresistible brand just like Apple, Beyonce, or even Scandal? So I'm using the most relevant things right now for my headline, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to keep it forever, but that's something that I'm using because it's relevant to my ICA. So what the heck is your story anyways? So your brand story is key. Why do you want to care about your story? Because stories sell. Stories captivate people. Stories are memorable. It keeps you, it keeps people excited about what you're doing. And also, stories are how people learn. We learn more from a story than we would from anything else. So that's why when you're, launching a product, you want to tell the story behind that, or you want to tell a story about it, or how it relates, a relatable story to that product, so that people can be like, you know what, that does sound like me. I do feel like that. I've gone through that, and maybe this product might be for me. So most certainly you want to focus on how your story can, create a memorable experience for your audience. So there are different types of stories, and I'll go into those right now. The first type of story is your about me story. That sounds obvious. It's just, the story about you and the story about your brand. But I do want to highlight that, when you are crafting the story, that you're focusing on what matters the most. So focus on how people can learn more about you, but also how, you can help them. So make that story as inspiring as possible, and also move people into action. So when they're in your About Me page, it's not just about you 24/7, the entire page. Talk about how you, the expert, can actually provide them a solution to their problems, and also give them some call to actions, like, learn more about how I can help you here and there. And then you just want to give a little bit of little hints of what to do next. So my next favorite story is a teach me something story. Um, Let me go ahead and share a story with you. So I heard a story about an employee at a position, a multi-million dollar corporation, who lost a big account that was worth millions to the company. And the day she got called into her boss's office, again, I don't know if it's a male or female, but I'm going to call it a she. So the day she walked into the office, she already had her letter of resignation prepared. She was like, "That's it. They're gonna can my behind. I gotta be ready for this." So she had her letter ready, and she walked into the office and she slid the paper onto her boss's desk. And her boss was like, "What's this?" And she's like, "Well, this is my letter of resignation." And the boss was like, "No, why would we fire you when we just spent millions of dollars educating you?" Now, for this person and for the company, this is a teach me something story. We can now use this story the next time we hire people, or, the next time she's training, she can talk about how amazing the company is for keeping someone who's lost the millions, but also how to avoid losing millions. There's certain different, key components of the story that they can share, but that's an example of a teach me something story. My next favorite one is the suspense story. Oh my goodness, I love a good suspense. Um, this is very key for building an irresistible brand in your business. So if you could pick any story type out of everything that I'm telling you right now, one is about you and about your brand, and two is a suspense story. Here's why. People want to know what you're up to, because just putting it out there that you have a new product doesn't cut it anymore. We want to fall in love with this product. We want to follow the product, the birth of the product or service. We want to know more about it, how it came about. So sharing a little a snippet of what you're doing is key. Like snapping a picture of you editing pictures, or snapping a picture of you recording your latest video, or talking about it with people, dropping hints here and there, or even creating a cool graphic that depicts your upcoming launch, or even a quote from your new book. These are things people are dying to hear from. It may sound like I'm over exaggerating, but I'm not, because I love Instagram and I'm always on there. I do work. But when you're on Instagram, one of the reasons why I love it is because you can capture a moment with just a picture. And I see tons of entrepreneurs who are rocking it out in their businesses, snapping pictures, sharing, "This is what I'm doing today." And, when they're launching, they launch successfully because people already know that they're working on it. People are expecting this, especially those who desire to work with that person. Like, "Oh my goodness, she's about to launch a super cool program. I know that this program is for me. I know I belong in it." And you can also create a series of blog posts that will keep people in suspense. They want to know more. It can be about a story about an experience you've had, or a client's had, or if you keep it anonymous, or it can be something that's related to this upcoming launch or this product, or it could just be anything, something trendy that you thought about and you wanted to write a series about it. It keeps them on your toes. Think about it. When you're watching your favorite TV show, you want to know what happens next, especially when you have to wait 7 days before you can watch the next episode. Or if you have Netflix, you don't have to worry about it. But the point is, you want to know what happens next. And that's why a suspense story is very delicious, it's juicy, and it's so key to building an irresistible brand. So, like I mentioned, you can share a picture, you can share anything that can keep people in the know about what's going on in your brand and in your business. The next two stories, really simple and yet very important. You can, craft a inspiring story to keep people inspired and call them to action, move them into action. And of course, an OMG, you read my mind story. We love those stories because we want to know that your brand and your business care. So it's not always a story that's leading people to buy something, but maybe something that will just get them uplifted for that day. It could be anything. Just think about some of the ways that you can craft stories that will help people fall in love with your brand, fall in love with your business. Because keep in mind, even if that one person who lands on your website doesn't buy from you, but when it's come time, maybe a family member might need your services, they would know exactly where to go to because they've already fallen in love with your stories. Even though they're not the ones who desire to buy, they can recommend you to someone. So always remember that you are being watched by everyone, and you can always, anyone can benefit from your stories. So here are a few ways to craft a juicy yet compelling story. One is to use descriptive language, so something that's vibrant, something that makes you feel alive. Use the language where people feel like they're with you while they're walking through the trenches, or that they're triumphing with you. When you're succeeding in the story. If you've ever gone to a seminar or you've read stories from other successful people, they talk about more so about their journey, how they had $1 in their pocket and nothing to their name, and they lived in their cars, and now they're making millions of dollars and they're helping thousands of people live their dreams. And you're like, wow, I really want to be a part of that, because just reading that, you're already moved into action. You're already inspired by that story. So think about that when you are writing your story. Of course, creating a mesmerizing yet captivating character. Even if that person's a villain, we want to know why they're a villain. We want to find out. If you've ever read a book where, it's about villains, or, we hear about the hero and all of that, we fall in love with either side, depending on what you're into, but something that people can relate to. We want it to be relatable as well. And of course, these are very key. You want to keep it into your voice and be authentic as possible. No copycatting. Don't try to be someone else. Just be yourself, because you are fabulous enough. And of course, keep it in your customer's language. I can't stress this part enough, because you don't want to write a blog. Is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be educational, but yet fun. And even if it's not educational, if it's funny, if it's fun, if it's entertaining, I'll take it. But I don't want to go to your blog and I don't want to go to your website to read a dissertation, unless that's what you're doing for a living, unless that is what your business is about. But I don't want to go and read a dissertation. I want to focus on, this, I can understand this. This is relatable. I got it. Now I know what to do next. Especially when you Google certain things that you're trying to learn. If it populates a video or something, you don't want to go to a video that's super long, that's, especially if it's boring. You want it to be something that I can understand, something that I can relate to. I don't want to have to research thousands of words just to understand what the heck you're talking about. So focus on how you can speak in your customer's language, and of course, how you can speak into your in your authentic voice. So now it's time to take action. So I would like for you to give, write in the comments below 3 things that you're going to do right now to become more business trendy and to craft your compelling story. So you can write, something like, I'm going to pick one trendy topic this week to focus on in my blog post, or I'm going to rewrite my about page, and share that with us when you do, because we want to know, how you're doing. This is a class, and I want to keep up to date, and I want to communicate with you and help you with those, with crafting your story, and help you with staying, above the trends, on top of the trends, and being business trendy. So again, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And also, feel free to ask any questions, and feel free to share any updates on what you're doing in your business. Now, remember, when you create that amazing, trendy blog post, remember to create a call to action asking people to tweet and share and like this blog post that you're having, that you're hosting on your website. Now, keep in mind, I would love for you to share this training with others as well. So feel free to tweet this to your friends, or share it on Facebook if you like. Again, this is Fabiola Giordani signing off, and I will see you in our next training video. Thank you so much for watching.